and welcome to the adventures of LBZ. I am Lance Collins, and in today's video we are going to be uncrating and setting up a crf110f. Actually, there's two per crate, and doing a test rip at the end. If you are new to this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you are new to these PDI and setup videos, I do not play the background audio due for privacy reasons and so that I can keep doing these at work. So I do a voiceover and play a little bit of music. So the first thing I'm going to need to uncrate these is a 13 mil. Also am putting some gloves on because these crates are sharp and they will lay you open pretty fast. Pretty much all the bolts that hold this particular machine in its crate is a 13. Besides, there's 4 10 millimeters that hold the triple trees down on them. Other than that, they're just sitting in there. There's a lot of tie straps, so I get my cutters out and I'll cut the tie straps and remove the wheels, the front fender, and the box that has all the accessories. Now to get the cutters out, cut all of the tie straps and zip ties and get that stuff out. And in case you are wondering, we do take all the metal from these crates and recycle them, get some money, and, pay for Christmas dinner and whatever else we're having at work. But that's what we do with them. And I save all the rubber bands, and I've been putting them onto this ball for a year now. So that's pretty much every rubber band that has come out of it crate, other than the pile that is underneath of the ball there that I still haven't got on there. But that thing probably weighs about 30 pounds right now. So maybe in another year it'll weigh 50 pounds and be 3 times the size, hopefully. So what I'm doing here is laying everything out. Basically, the packages are packed per bike except for one of the bags. It has the axles and a few screws in it. They're shared on them. But what I'll do is I'll wipe up the lift here, get everything nice and clean, make sure there's no oil or anything that's on there. That way, I'm not doing double cleanup at the end there whenever I'm wiping this thing down. But yeah, I'll lay out all of the accessories that I'm getting ready to install onto the two crf110s. And then I will also put the few accessories that it comes with that go in the owner's manual and rider's guide pack. These are two 10 millimeters that hold that top strap down on both of these 110s. That's what I was talking about earlier with the 10 mils. Now, you'll use, to put the rest of this together, you use, 8, 10s, and 12s. But when you're taking the crate apart, it's 13s on this for some reason. Maybe because it's from China. Not sure. Usually they're 10 mils or 12 mils, not 13s. But, oh well. Let's get these things unpacked and set up. These are the things that come with your owner's manual. It's basically a throttle stop and a spoke wrench. What I'm doing now is assembling the cable guide. There's a plastic little centerpiece, eyelet I guess is what you would call it, and a metal frame that wraps around it. What I'll do is you'll take the 12 millimeter out of the fork leg, you'll put the bolt through that cable guide, and there's a washer that goes on the back side. Put that in. I'll run it in with my impact until it stops. I'm not going to crank on it with that. Then I use my torque wrench and I torque it down to what the factory spec is. And yes, people have asked me if I set my torque wrenches back to 0 when I'm done. When I am finished working on what I'm working on, I set all of them back to 0, including the digital one. So yes, they all go back to 0. I'm not leaving them loaded up with tension on them. I know people think I do, but a lot of these videos, before I even start working on them, if it's something that I haven't worked on or I'm not sure, I go and I check all the torque values to all the bolts just to make sure that they are going to be correct. With metric bolts and the size of the bolt and the thread pitch, if you go to a general guide, you can look and see what those are supposed to be without looking in any of the manuals. But yeah, I usually look in the owner's manual or in my service manual, or sometimes even our PDI sheets. Like I say, if it's a new bike, the PDI setup sheet will have all the torque specs that we need. These handlebars, I'm going to run them down by hand with the T-handle, and then I get my torque wrench out. As you can see, setting it to, what was it? I think it's 84 inch-pounds on these, if you're curious. In this particular PDI setup video, it's kind of a 2-for-1. Like I say, there's 2 of these in a crate. Whenever I'm setting them up, I usually try to set them both up at the same time. I didn't have a second stand, so I actually finish one of them up before the other one. Usually, I'm finishing them both up at the same time whenever I have a stand that I can pick the bike up on and have both wheels and the foot pegs and everything on these. But this particular time, I had to do it one on the stand, one in the crate, and I only got to put that one in the crate halfway together and finish the other one. Time to install the handlebar accessories. This is the kill switch and stop button. What we'll do is undo the Phillips screw, slide it onto the bar. There is a punch mark on there. Line it up and put the Phillips back in, tighten it down. Next, I'll put the throttle on, hook the cables up, and then we'll hook when we install the front wheel, we'll hook up the front brake cable that goes into the front brake lever. And that bolt that I just removed out is for another one of those brackets that is on the other bike that holds the cable for the front brake in. You'll see I'll torque it back down to what the spec is, and later on we'll put the cable through it. Time to put the front fenders on. These have 3 metal grommets that go down through the top, and then you have a bolt with a washer that goes up through the bottom and bolt it to the bottom part of the triple tree. And time to install the front wheel. I will put the spacer in. I will put the cable up through the cable guide that we installed earlier. Then I line the brake drum up on the one side. I put the axle in. I don't put it all the way in because I want to put a little bit of spray penetrant oil on there. I don't use anti-seize because the anti-seize on the off-road bikes, if you've seen any other videos that I talk about, it gets around the spacers, and if there's a seal there and a bearing behind the seal, chances are the dirt's going to stick to the anti-seize, and then it's going to chew your seal out, allowing water and bad stuff to get into your bearing, and you're going to have bearing failure that is, you know, a lot more premature than it should be. And that is a 14 and a 19, and I torqued it to 45 foot-pounds. Now I'm installing the other cable guide holder, whatever they want to call it. It has a 10 mil that goes into it, and I torque it to 84 inch-pounds. Now what I'm going to do is install the throttle tube. This one has a push and pull cable, so you make sure that you are putting them in the right spot. There's that white plastic slider that goes in there that holds the 2 cables from binding up against each other, and then it all is held together with 2 Phillips screws. Get that tightened down. There's a tab that's actually on the back side that lines up into the start kill switch. Go ahead and line that up and screw the 2 screws in, and then what I'll do is I'll adjust that cable, and which is I think it was 10 mil on those, might have been 12s, I can't remember, but yeah, adjust that out to get the proper free play into the throttle. Now I use my 8mm. I'll take the side panel bolt out, and there's actually a seat bolt that for some reason my GoPro didn't come on fast enough. As you can see, I'm dropping everything, including the side panel. Luckily I didn't damage it. Now I'll pull that tab out and undo the other 8mm that holds the battery strap in, remove the battery out, take it over to my Noco Genius 2. No, I'm not sponsored by them, which I wish I was, because I use a lot of their products, but I hook it up to that smart charger, and it usually only takes that battery about 5 minutes to get it fully charged up. It usually comes about 90% charged, so it doesn't take very long, but we'll go ahead and grab a T-handle out, put the two 8mm bolts that hold the front number plate on with my T-handle, and then after that I will hook up the brake cable to the lever and adjust it, the top and the bottom, so that there's proper free play. And then after that, we'll go ahead and install the foot pegs, we'll check the oil, we'll fill the fuel up, we'll set the tire pressures, and then I'll take this thing for a test rip. I'm not going to bore you with a whole long voiceover on this full video, so after this we'll let the music play, and then when it gets to the test rip of it, we'll let the background play, because there's nobody that is in the background or any music that I'm going to get in trouble for. And the particular one that I'm setting up right now, a good buddy of mine that I went to school with back many moons ago, ended up purchasing this one. So yes, adults can buy these bikes too, even though it is a very small bike. There's a lot of adults that buy these things, so and also at the end of this thing, if this was going on the showroom floor or to other customers that I didn't know, I would not ride wheelies or anything like that on. Like I said, this is a good buddy of mine. He was actually back there. He's not in the video, but he saw me riding wheelies on it and did not mind, because that's what they were going to do with it when they left out of the shop. This is the 2022 Honda crf110f. Pretty much the same as last year's, just has some different graphics on it. This one does not have a clutch lever. It just has a front brake lever and your regular brake, and it's got a centrifugal clutch. So yeah, start button, kill switch, ignition switch. As you can see, whenever it's on, you got your green light there, and check engine light will flash if there's something wrong with it, because this thing is fuel injected. Let's start it up and take it for a ride. As always, I'm not going to go too crazy because it's only about 20 degrees outside and these are off-road tires. And that's going to be it for today's video. If you're new to this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Thanks, and as always, have a great day.